Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya, a nation of 55 million people. Nairobi is a city well served by roads and rails. This city is the only city in the world with a national park inside a city. And it has modern architecture and experiencing an expansion of house building in its residential sector.
We started the project in 2021, end of 2021. This is our second year, and the completion is mid of next year. Yeah. We have chosen this location because it's very convenient. We are just like 100 meters away from Art Life Plaza, Yaya Center, and Prestige Plaza. A lot of shopping malls, supermarket around, schools, hospitals also around. Very convenient space. Anything you need in your life just within walking distance.
The expansion of the residential sector is also attracting first-time buyers and buy-to-let investors into the city. Welcome to another episode where we explore the Nairobi property market. The Kenyan real estate sector has been expanding recently. It grew by 6.1% in the first quarter of 2022 and is projected to grow further in the coming years. The growth of this market is attributed to factors such as infrastructure development by the government, rapid population growth, and urbanization. In Nairobi, the demand for housing is expected to grow at an annual rate of 5.4%, and developers appear to be responding to this increase in demand by constructing more rental units such as apartments, townhouses, and co-living spaces. So, for those looking to bask in the sunshine of East Africa and to invest, the question is this: what can the Nairobi property market offer? Nairobi has numerous architectural landmarks such as the Kenyatta International Conference Center, the Parliament Building, the Roman Catholic Cathedral, and the Jamia Mosque. These attracts a lot of tourists and foreign investors.
Kenya is a very nice country, very beautiful country. A lot of tourism always coming here, especially this time. Yeah, in this case, we will need a lot of houses, accommodation, building for them to come to stay. Yeah, for investment, the return is also very high.
Nairobi real estate market has really grown for the last 10 years. We have seen a lot of interest for both the local investors, the Kenyans in diaspora, and much more from other people or foreigners who are not Kenyans. This is attributed to the growth in the economy, because our economy has really grown for the last 5 or even 10 years. Another thing also is the surge of rental properties, because you will get good investment opportunities in these properties. For instance, I usually advise most of my clients to plug into the 1-bedrooms, 2-bedroom studio units that are coming up in Kilimani, Lavington, Kileleshwa areas, because those are the most ideal areas where you can get good investment properties.
These locations appear to be good investment areas for owner-occupiers and buy-to-let investors.
So when we start with investment, I can recommend a couple of locations, including Kileleshwa, Kilimani, Lavington, Westlands and also Parklands. The rental income, it's perfect in Nairobi and in Kenya, to be precise. And let's say you want to live. For living, there is a place called Syokimau. It's close to the airport. So if you like a place close to the airport, you can consider that location. And there's also a place called Kiambu Road. That's also an ideal place. And if you would like a more quiet place for, like, let's say townhouses, the big houses, you can go to Karen. There's Karen, and there's also Gigiri. You'll get very nice houses, quiet, the trees, it's green. Yeah, so with living that side, but for investors, maintain the locations that I've just mentioned.
In Kilimani, you'll get the best units to invest in is actually the apartments. Apartments are better, are easier to rent out compared to villas, condos, or townhouses, because apartments are cheaper to buy and also cheaper to rent, and even much easier to rent. For instance, an apartment in Lavington, Kilimani, Kileleshwa, the average price for a one-bedroom house will be from around 5.5 to 6 million. A studio unit will be from around 4.5. A two-bedroom apartment will be from around 10.5, 11 million, or even if a little bit expensive, will be around 12 million thereabouts. A three-bedroom apartment will cost you averagely between 15 million up to 20 million, depending on the size and the design of the house.
There is currently a wave of new construction in Nairobi, mostly by Chinese developers. This is positively affecting the Nairobi landscapes. Some overseas investors are now scanning the landscapes, trying to decide where to invest.
Actually, in Kenya, there are two types of properties. There's the freehold property and the leasehold property. So the freehold property is exclusively for locals, but foreigners or other investors who are not locals can invest in the leasehold type of property. So leasehold, it means it has a tenure of up to 99 years, which is renewable after every 99 years.
Foreign investors looking to invest in Nairobi must comply with the Kenyan laws.
So what you need is just your full details. That is your upon processing the offer letter, we need your full names, your passport number, your postal address, the unique identifiers that you use in your current country. And then another thing also, because we'll also need to pay taxes against the property, what we normally encourage our investors is to also liaise with a lawyer, with a property lawyer or property attorney who will assist you to do the due diligence of the property. We'll process the KRA PIN. The KRA PIN is actually what we'll use to do the stamp duty, which is property tax. So as soon as you get a good property attorney or good property lawyer, we'll guide you through the process.
For an investor or a foreigner who wants to buy land in Kenya, first and foremost, they need to have their documents right. First of all, you have a passport. They need to have a valid passport. And of course, they must be in Kenya legally. So there has to be their visa showing that they are allowed to be in the country. One other thing that we normally require is the PIN certificate. That's a personal identification number for the foreigner. And this the PIN is issued by the Kenya Revenue Authority. Now, it's an online process. There is a platform where government services are rendered. It's called the eCitizen. So under the eCitizen platform, one is now able to generate the PIN. And essentially, it is actually that simple, that once you have your passport, you have the PIN, then you're as good as a local person, a Kenyan who wants to buy property.
The attraction of Nairobi is its wave of modern buildings being constructed. One such construction is the Brickford building.
We started the project in 2021, end of 2021. This is our second year, and the completion is mid of next year. Yeah. We have chosen this location because it's very convenient. We are just like 100 meters away from Art Life Plaza, Yaya Center, and Prestige Plaza. A lot of shopping malls, supermarket around, schools, hospitals also around. Very convenient space. Anything you need in your life just within walking distance.
Investors looking to purchase properties require funding. This could either be cash purchase or mortgages. This is the lifeblood of any investment.
In terms of financing for investors, these are the different modes of financing. There's a cash payment where you do a one-off payment, or you can do 70%, then the balance upon registration of the property. There's also another mode of financing, which is an installment mode of financing, where you do an initial 20% deposit of the property value. Then the balance you can be given a period of 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, depending on the development phase of the project. There's also a mortgage mode of finance, whereby you'll be financed by various institutions in Kenya. That can be a bank or a SACCO, which finances you 20%, and 30%, 40%, depending on how much you qualify.
Also, some developers offer installment facilities for those trying to purchase investment properties in Nairobi.
You can choose flexible payment schedule installments, like 20% deposit, then balance we spread it until April 2025. And you can have your own plan. We can always discuss and agree on that.
As an example, we're in this gorgeous and magnificent 3-bedroom apartment in Kileleshwa. This is a 3-bedroom apartment, all en suite. It means it has 3 washrooms. So the living room area has a sizable lounge where you can fit a 5-seater coach. It has a small section where you can do a coffee table. The TV, it can fit as big as even 65-inch to even 75-inch, depending on what you want on your wall. So one thing that I like about it is the magnificent chandeliers, the gypsum ceiling, the downlighters around it, and the quality of finishing. One important thing is the quality of finishing, because for most developments, investors or clients will want to buy something that's going to last for long, something that's going to last them a lifetime, without buying something which you are going to change your fittings after 1 year or 2 years later. So from the living room area, it opens up to a massive and magnificent balcony. Close to it is an open plan kitchen. The kitchen comes fitted with an oven, a hood, and the stove. There's also fitted cabinets which are enough to accommodate your essentials, your cutlery, and all of that. It can also fit, besides this, the big dining table, 6-seater. We have done a 4-seater, but it can fit a 6-seater comfortably. In each and every bedroom, there's a master bedroom, which is big and sizable enough. It can fit a 6x6, that's a king-size bed. Besides it opens up to a huge and massive balcony. Within the balcony also, it's big enough where you can fit 2 balcony chairs, enjoy the view of Kileleshwa. You can also fit your own, besides chair, that's an Asian chair. Let's say you want to relax inside your bedroom. You can fit your Asian chair and also put your TV in front of you. So the bedroom is also massive. The bathroom is massive. It has its own, what can I say, the shower cubicle with the rain head shower. If you want to customize and do a bathtub, perfect. The space also allows it to do a bathtub. For the 2 other rooms, you can fit a queen-size bed and 2 bedside drawers. Spacious enough. For the kids' room, you can do a double-decker. or just a small, let's say a 4x6 or 5x6 bed, so that you can have space to move around.
The legal procedure for those investing in Nairobi has been simplified. This makes it easier for investors to comprehend.
We will have a search, we will conduct a search at the Lands Office. Now the search should disclose whether the property is encumbered, as I've said, or it's clean. Normally, an encumbrance is not a big issue. It just depends on what kind of encumbrance you're looking at. It could be charged to the bank because the seller wants got some financing to develop the property. But if there is, for example, a caution or a court order against the property, then that now raises a red flag. A list of parcels of land in Kenya which essentially have been problematic one way or the other. Maybe it was land that was misappropriated, maybe it was public land. So you will not get that from a search at the Lands Office, because a search is going to show you that the land does exist, it's owned by so-and-so, there is no encumbrance or there is an encumbrance, but it doesn't go into the root of that land. Was it initially public land that probably was misappropriated or something like that? So yeah, we will look at that as the initial investigation as to the land. Then from there we go into the actual transaction. Now the actual transaction will mean, of course, parties will have to get into a sale agreement. Parties will have to agree on the terms of that sale. In addition to that due diligence, of course, there is now the procedural requirement of registration of land. The first thing that once the parties have gotten into the sale agreement and they have surpassed the stage where they now are ready for registration, I mean, when they have gotten to that land registration stage, the first thing that happens is payment of stamp duty. And for payment of stamp duty, you'll have to first ascertain what stamp duty is payable. Now, to ascertain how much stamp duty is payable, you will need to do valuation. Now, a government valuer is appointed by the government, and then he will basically look at the market value of the land. Now, if, for example, it says it's 5 million shillings, then what happens to the 5 million shillings is that they will then check the zoning of that property. Now, in certain areas, it could be zoned at 4% of the value of the land or 2%. Now, for foreigners, mainly, you may want to concentrate on the 4% because 2% is for the rural areas. So 4% is normally zoned for the urban areas. And as we've said, the foreigners cannot own freehold land, which is normally in the rural areas. So, so stamp duty is ascertained at that point. So say it's 4% or 5 million shillings, it is paid. Then once that is done, the documents are presented for the actual franking, that is the stamping now, to the embossing on the instrument. And then they are presented for registration. Registration is done. Registration will take around about a week, 2 weeks. It will depend on the area. If it's the central registry in Nairobi could, again, depending on different dynamics, it could take much longer. But if the files are available, the records are clear, then maybe a week, 2 weeks you're done. And then obviously after that you'll want to get a post-registration search to show that this property has now been transferred and it's now in the hands of a new owner.
Well, this episode was about finding out what the Nairobi property market has to offer. And we've seen that this market does have a lot to offer. For buy-to-let investors, the market offers excellent property in a growing private rental sector. And for owner-occupiers, the market also offers amazing architecture in a serene environment. So if you're looking to bask in the sunshine of East Africa, Nairobi is certainly the place for you. However, do take legal advice if you're going to invest. Well, we've now come to the end of this episode. If you've missed anything, you could go on our Facebook page or Instagram. You could also check us out on our website. The details are scrolling below. So until next time, it's goodbye from me.
Property Show. The Okri Property Show.
Brought to you by Menbo Homes Limited.
The Okri Property Show.